Good morning and welcome to the second day of my trip. This is the first full day, the only completely full day that I'm going to have, and I'm starting off at Annette's because they now have a vegan breakfast, so I'm so excited to try it. Breakfast can be difficult for vegans at Disneyland Paris, so this is a fantastic new option. As you can hear, there's a lot of construction going on in Disney Village, so please pardon the noise, but let's go in and see what this is like. So I am super excited to try this vegan menu. It seems like quite an interesting option because you get avocado toast, mushrooms, you get chili, a wrap that has peppers, onions and cheese in it, you get tomatoes, fruit, and you also get a hot drink and an orange juice or an apple juice. So it's €19, so it is a little bit on the pricey end, still much cheaper than the hotel breakfast. I think it's great that you get a hot and a cold drink, so I'm very excited to try this. So the vegan breakfast has now arrived and it's got a nice variety of things. You get some fruit, which is going to be really nice, some avocado toast, and let's dive in. The chili is definitely the standout part of the breakfast. That's really, really delicious. And I do love the addition of the wrap because it is something different. You also get some fresh fruit, so I've got strawberries, pineapple and blueberries, which I think is a nice mix of different fruits. So let's see what they're like. All the fruit is like really fresh, really ripe, really, really nice tasting. So I think you get a nice variety of different options. So I would say that this was a nice breakfast option. It's really handy to be able to have a vegan breakfast in Disneyland Paris. However, the service was incredibly slow. So what I would suggest is if you go into the parks in the mornings but you fancy like a brunch and a break, this can be a good option. If you're looking for a quick breakfast, this is probably going to take a bit too long to get your day started. It is served until 11:30 in the morning, so you do have the option of coming for a brunch. So that could be good. I don't know if it was just a fluke, because the people next to me, they got seated quickly, they got served quickly, they had their order taken quickly, whereas I was the complete opposite. And it might have just been unlucky. So I don't think it will always take as long as it took for me, but I would still say if you're looking for a faster way to get into the parks, having a sit-down breakfast is probably not the best option. But if you're looking for a brunch, it's a really, really good vegan, tasty breakfast to have. So whilst I am in Disney Village, I'm going to quickly pop up to the Renovated shops. These have been open a couple of weeks now, so I am so excited to go see this, particularly Disney style, because it's always been one of my favourite shops at Disneyland Paris. So let's go and see what's in, and hopefully the bank balance won't get ruined. So as you can see and probably hear, there is a lot of construction still going on. So Planet Hollywood is completely removed now. This is going to turn into an Italian restaurant. And then also over here where the sports bar was, they are currently updating that. That will be opening later this year. But we go from the construction of the sports bar over to the newly renovated area, which does look really, really nice. You can even see the paving has been updated. And I'm loving the facades that they have on these shops, particularly this 3D one outside the Lego store. That's amazing. Loving this Incredibles image as well. And I think I'm going to go into Disney Style first because it's my favourite. I can't tell you how amazing this shop smells. It smells so good. And it's really bright and clean and sleek. Like, it looks incredible. Disney Style is a great shop to come in for obviously clothing, but also limited edition items. Guys, I love the Sorcerer's range, and they've got the fleece. Oh my god, I love it. I've been looking for this. It's interesting because this is a €70 fleece, and the ones in the park where it's the characters that we saw yesterday, like the Mickey one, they were 50. So this is quite a lot more, which I'm not sure why. Maybe it's thicker quality. So I actually think this is super, super cute. And what's interesting actually is, I don't know if you can see, but the inside is actually lined, so it feels more like a coat rather than a fleece. So I think that's probably why it's more expensive, but it is quite cute. The problem is it's May and I'm looking at fleeces and it's rather warm, but I do like that one. And like I say, it's more like a coat, which is really interesting. And I haven't tried the Mickey fleece on, so you know, it might be one of those things that I have a look and see, and I might end up with a fleece in the summer. Parisian Mini. That's iconic. Imagine going to Disneyland Paris and getting Parisian Mini. I will have to stop mentioning it, but this shop smells incredible. And it's also really air conditioned. Like, it feels luxurious. And you can tell that's obviously the thing that they're going for with the new design. And it really feels that way. Oh my God, don't. We've got some more backpacks. Love these designs, but get ready, guys. How cute is this? This is unbelievable. What an amazing lounge. They also have a really cute Minnie Mouse range. So you've got these great bags. And then I am absolutely obsessed with these shorts. How nice are these? They are really cool and I love that they're purple. And then you've also got a really nice kind of checkered mini sweatshirt as well. They also have this section which seems like almost like one-offs or like vintage clothing, like retro designs, which is really interesting. And what a cool addition to the shop. And of course you can also find the Mickey sunglasses. They have them in black and then they also have them in gold. They also have a section where you can customise your clothing, which is really, really cool. And I like that you can make it very specific to you. You can have embroideries, prints, engraving. So I think that's a really, really great option. I absolutely love that you can get the name badges, they're so cute. I am so impressed with this renovation. It looks beautiful. The items are laid out really, really nicely. It's spacious, it's light, it's airy, it feels like a boutique, and you get some really, really nice, unique options here. So loving this. And I'm actually going to head next door because you can walk straight through where you can go and look at all of the jewellery. Again, the shop is really spacious, really well laid out. It's really, really lovely to come in these shops. They feel so calm. So in the shop next door, you have all of the jewellery, but you also have some of the collaborations with big brands, the more like designer expensive items, which is fantastic. So let's have a little look what they've got. This is a really, really cool way to display things. I love it. So there's also currently a range with Caperni, and I kind of actually really, really think these are very, very cool. You can get a Maleficent or a princess sweatshirt, which I think is really cool. Like the hoodie is awesome. There's also a range of different t-shirts. They've got this little bag, and you can even, I don't know if you can buy this, but there is a little crown as a headband, which is amazing. They also have this dress, which has a really, really cute design. And this is another angle of the sweatshirts from Caperni, and then of course on the hood is where you have the nice little detail. So here are the prices. Now I have to say I don't know anything about fashion, so I don't know who Caperni is, but the prices are quite on the expensive range. So I'm assuming they're quite a well-known designer brand. But the hoodies, for example, are €390. The dress is €790. T-shirts, €270. And then of course the shop also has lots of different jewellery. So if you're looking for some nice keepsakes, you can definitely find really, really nice options in here. And then of course you can also get all your Pandora charms in here. Disney have an official partnership with Pandora, and I think it's great because you can get so many park specific charms. So the name of the shop where you could get the jewellery and the designer items is Disney Glamour, and I walked through to Disney Glamour from Disney Star, which is right next door, but we're going to carry on up because the Lego store has also been renovated, and they now have this amazing kind of artwork, this massive display outside, which is a great photo spot. I really love how cool this display is, it's amazing. The Lego store also has this amazing Sorcerer Mickey 3D kind of artwork on the outside of the building, which I think is amazing. So let's head into the Lego store and see what is in here. This can be lethal, isn't it? Because Lego is amazing, but it's so expensive. You can of course get the iconic castle in here, but it is rather big to get home. Or they have this one. I've actually got this one at home, and it's lovely because it's a much smaller size and it's much more affordable. It's just €40. But they also have the Beauty and the Beast castle, which is amazing. This one's €279.99. They also have a whole Marvel section. Love this Rocket, absolutely obsessed with him. Oh, these are really, really cool. We've got like all of these Star Wars sections. Loads and loads of different types of Lego, different characters, and then of course they show them on display so you can see what you're going to end up with at the end. And in the middle of the shop they have these super cool displays. So we've got some Star Wars figures, and then we've also got some really cool Marvel figures. We've got a little bit of an Iron Man moment, and it's actually lit up. And of course they have this iconic Mickey, Sorcerer Mickey moment. I love this. What a great display to have. And it's absolutely huge. it really does have a lot of everything in here. Of course, like I say, you've got lots of Disney, you've got Star Wars, you've got Marvel, but then there are other different franchises, and then like classic Legos, you can get your own blocks and just build whatever you want. So I think it's a really, really good thing. And downside is a lot of the boxes are very big, so it's very hard to get home. However, like I say, there are ones that are smaller, so if you want a little Lego treat, you can definitely get something in here. And then the final shop is Deco, which is all to do with home decor. So this is lovely. I love home decor. This could be lethal, but let's go in. And immediately, it's so sleek, really spacious. Everything's laid out and displayed perfectly. It's really, really lovely. I think these are little cards that you can buy, which is really nice. You could put it in a frame and display it. It's like a big postcard, but that's really nice. And you can actually get the castle itself, which is fantastic. Oh my God, look. Oh my God, wait a minute. We found the slipper. And it's a light. That's amazing. There's also a whole Beauty and the Beast range, which is really, really stunning. Obsessed that you can get Mrs. Potts and Chip together. They've got the clock. Although, does anyone remember in Primark a few years ago when they did a similar range? Obviously, it's not as high quality. You can definitely see the difference. But like, they had the clock. They had the Chip bag, which was like a backpack, and it was just wild. It went flying off the shelves. But you can definitely see like such a huge jump in quality, which obviously you would expect. But a beautiful range. Oh my God, I've just found a villain section. Oh my God, look at all this. There's loads of Phantom Manor and also the villains. Oh my God, this is incredible. This is incredible. Oh, don't. I'm obsessed with the mug. We all know I'm obsessed, and you can get 4 mugs in a set with Disney villains on. And my favourite guy, Dr. Facilier. I've got to say, I absolutely love this bottle. That lid is next level amazing. We've also got this really nice range, and it's kind of like in woods and like neutral tones, which is really, really classy. But I am full-blown obsessed with this. How amazing is that shelving unit? I don't think I've ever remarked about how amazing a shelving unit is before, but I do love that. And then over here we have lots of artwork and prints specifically for the park. So you've got some more of these prints, which I think are great because they're a nice small size and they're quite cheap, but they're really beautiful decorations. And you can actually get bigger versions of the prints as well. So you can get like a Walt Disney Studios Park, which I have been tempted to get because obviously this is going soon. Next year it's going to be renamed, so get it while you can, sort of thing. But obviously the castle's beautiful. You've also got Ratatouille. Speaking of a little rat friend, that is too cute. Something else that's really cool about the sign above Disney Style is if you look at it this way, then you see the Incredibles just in their normal regular attire, but let me take you over here and it will actually transform, and if you look from the other direction you then get to see them once they're in their superhero outfits, which I think is amazing. What a cool like little piece of artwork. So I have to say I've been super impressed with all of the renovated shops. They are beautiful and really spacious. They're just so nice to walk around. You can see everything's displayed beautifully, so you can really easily see what you might like to buy. And yeah, this is a great sign, isn't it? Because it's the first time we're kind of seeing the renovations, and it's kind of the first wave. There's been a lot of work happening over many years, but we're finally now starting to see what the updates are looking like, and this is fantastic. And the fact that the rest of Disney Village is going to be having renovations over the next couple of years, if this is anything to go by, it's going to be really spectacular. So I have been so impressed with this. But as we're walking through Disney Village now, you can of course hear and see a lot of construction going on. So we've still got a couple of years of renovations left, and there's no getting away from it. It's visible. And I think that's the thing. If you've been to Disneyland Paris and you know what to expect, just one of those things. And you know, they are parks that are open all year round, so it's not like there's an off season where they can do the work. However, it feels like a lot of the work's being done at the same time rather than it being staggered, which I think is the difficult thing. And if you've never been to Disneyland Paris and you've only kind of seen the advert on telly, you know, you don't like watch vlogs or stuff like that, you're not necessarily going to know this is going on. And I think if it's your first ever trip, it could be a bit shocking. But, you know, once it's all finished, it will be amazing. And like I say, the shops are a really great representation of what it's going to be like. But yeah, there's no denying that it's definitely noticeable. just before we finally head into the park, let's go into World of Disney just to have a little look around and see what merch is on offer. Immediately greeted by Stitch. Of course they are. It's around lunchtime at the moment, and this is actually a really nice time to visit because it's super quiet in here, whereas later in the evening it'll get super busy. We've got the music festival season range, which I do think is really cute. And this is the thing, I'm like, I think the plushes are amazing, but I'm nearly 40 years old, should I be buying a plush? But they are just too cute. How can you say no? I do also really like the ears. The only thing about them is because they're themed to the music festival season, I think they're really cute. And what's good is that, you know, it kind of is themed. It does say on the back music festival season, but it's kind of, you could get away with wearing it outside of the music festival season. Because this is going to be my only trip during the music festival season. So like, unlike the 30th where that went on for a very long time, if you bought the ears you could wear them multiple times. This would be my only time to wear them during the season. But do you think you could get away with wearing them other times? Do you think you have to wear them only during the season, or can you wear them anywhere? But something that I do absolutely love is this kind of travel mug. It's just such a nice design, and I love that you get a little straw. And I'm like, oh, maybe this is good, because, you know, I could use this a lot at home. It is €25. However, I have seen that mug you can buy at the Disney Store website, and it's £20. So it's actually cheaper if you buy it there. I mean, literally we're talking like £1 something cheaper. And at least here you know you bought it in Disneyland Paris. But it's good to know that you can get some of this merch before you come to the park. Because it's normally so busy in here, I don't kind of take in the details, but the central display in here is really stunning. So in here we have got some more of the fleeces, and this is a white one, and this is actually Minnie, which is so cute. And these are €50, so like I say, they're much cheaper than the other one. But these ones are more like a traditional fleece. So like the inside is a fleece material rather than a coat. But I love that, that's so cute. And they've also started selling the giant bags, which I absolutely love. They are so cute. They are €45, and in this shop they've got Mickey and Minnie, but there are more in the range. Something I always like to look for in here are ears, because they have a big range of ears. They also have a big range of bags. So if you're looking for like the essentials, like your lounge slides and your ears, this could be a great shop to come in. Guys, you need to strap in for this. Look how amazing this is. You can get the ears and they flap, which is hilarious. So we currently have a Donald Duck range, we have a Lotso, and I personally love this one. This is amazing, the Sorcerer one, oh my god. This one might be the best one. I think this one might be my favourite one. I also really like this fluffy Mickey backpack, and then they have a polka dot Minnie one. I do kind of love that bucket hats are coming back, and this is cute, but I really do love the alien one. I think that's so fun. I also love that these types of hats are making a comeback. Like, I absolutely remember them from like the 90s, and they were like everywhere, and they're so good. We also have the bag in Stitch because it's Disneyland Paris. I also really love the Spirit jersey. That is such a beautiful design. The problem is I come in and I just want everything, but I'm trying to be mindful. I'm like, do we need it? So I'm going to leave everything, and then if there's something I can't stop thinking about, I'll probably come back and get it. But there's just too many good things on offer. And it's like, I love the fleeces. In January I was desperate for the fleeces, but now it's May and it's quite warm. I'm less excited about a fleece just because I'm currently roasting hot. My brain can't function thinking about warm things. But will I regret not getting one? So I am now finally inside the park, and you might be thinking, if this is the music festival day, why does it take you so long to get here? And that is kind of because a lot of the music festival is in the afternoon. Now, Mary Poppins and her band does start in the morning, but I've come in so that I could be there in time for her last show of the day, which is at 12:50, because all of the other shows start after that. It's all in the evening and afternoon. So it was nice to be able to kind of have a more relaxed morning, but now I'm ready for the music festival season. These days you do a lot of things on the app, but don't forget that you can actually come in and still get a paper map. So if you did want a little free souvenir, definitely pick one of these up. So I'm getting ready for my very first music festival little moment, and that is going to be Mary Poppins and her band. band. So that is at the bandstand, which is near the train station at the top of Main Street. And I've got here a little bit early and I'm right at the little barrier, like rope thing. So that's going to be really fantastic. And I'm very excited to see this. I think it looks so charming. I do really love that the music festival musical moments are kind of all around the park, which is so, so nice. But I would say there's quite a lot of different shows going on, and it's really not possible to do them all in one day because of the timings, because you do need to get there a bit early to be able to get a good view. And once you factor that in, a lot of the shows are kind of a similar time, so maybe like 1:50 or 1:55. So you couldn't hop between them, but then the next set of shows, once you've watched yours, you wouldn't get there early enough to get a good spot. So it's hard to fit it into all one day. If you're here multiple days, I would just spread it out. But I'm going to see how many things we can get done today. So we're going to start with Mary Poppins, who is always so fun to see. They've just set up the band, which looks fantastic, and it's great to have a band in the bandstand. Absolutely charming. It's so great having a live band, and it makes such a difference, and having those little moments and interactions with the characters was so much fun. So I'm going to head further into the park now. I might get some food, and I was thinking of eating one place, but I think the next show I'm going to see is in a different land, so I might go there because there was also something I want to try in that land. So let's head over to Frontierland, get a little bit of food, and then find a spot for our next show. Oh, merci! Thank you, thank you. Something I've been wanting to try for a while is the champagne on Main Street. So this costs €20, but you get this souvenir glass, which is so nice. And you can get it from a little store right near Gibson Girl. And you know, if you're here and you could have these nice little treats, this is what I do love about Disneyland Paris, is there are moments that feel very luxe. So being able to drink champagne on Main Street is one of those experiences. So it's a good, if you're a Disney adult, you've got to do it. So cheers. Walking around in the sunshine, drinking some champagne, it genuinely feels like one of the god tier Disneyland Paris adult things you could do. Like if you're a Disney adult, this is we're living in the dream. It's so good, and the champagne's nice as well, which is a bonus. But it's so lovely you get to keep the glass, and it is plastic, so it's not going to break on your way home. Sitting in the sunshine, overlooking Big Thunder Mountain, drinking a champagne in the sun, like this is what life is about. It doesn't get better than this. And it's funny because I just thought, I haven't been on any rides today, and that's something I think is amazing about Disney, is you don't have to go on any rides and you will still have an amazing day, because just being in the atmosphere, the entertainment, the shops, there's so much to do, and this is glorious. I'm absolutely loving this. So I found a little spot. I'm going to sit here for a little while, enjoy my champagne, and then see my next show. And I was going to get some food. I might have to get it after the show. But we can get it on the way to our next show, because it's just jam-packed. There's so much to see and do. Guys, I'm obsessed with Disney ducks. Look how cute this duck is. I can't get over it. Oh, is it God? Is it going to come to me? Come to me, come to me. Oh, he fell over. That's embarrassing. It's happening. He's coming to me. Hello, little Disney duck. Hello. Living your best life. And whilst we're here, we can also see some of the Big Thunder construction happening. Like I said, there's more scaffolding up, and you can see the people at work. And yeah, I just think it's going to be great once it's reopened. It looks like they're doing the whole thing. They're kind of retracking it. So I think that should prevent it having so many breakdowns or having to go down multiple times a year for maintenance. So that's going to be fantastic when it's reopened. Something that I forgot to say about Mary Poppins is why I ended up standing in the perfect place just by accident. So I was in the part where it's kind of opposite Flora's, and that's how you'd walk into the bandstand. And that's actually the direction that Mary Poppins the band walk in. And I just happened to be stood right to the right-hand side. That's just where I picked. And everyone else that was standing at the rope was told, oh, you have to go behind me because they have to make space for the characters to come in. So if you do get there early enough, you can stand in the right-hand corner of the entrance by Flora's. You can get an amazing spot and see the characters as they arrive, which is great. But I am now at my next spot. I'm in Frontierland and I'm here to see Miguel, so I can't wait. So I am over here, which is where Miguel's show is going to be, and of course you can see the little stands where they kind of represent story. You know what's going to happen here. What they have is they put on the floor these little markers so you know where you can stand and what area you need to keep clear, which is great. I've been very, very lucky because my friend Liz has been twice during the music festival season. She was giving me all the hints and tips, and she was saying try to get to places about half an hour early so that you can get a good spot, which I think has worked out perfectly. I did that for Mary Poppins and for this, and you basically get right to the front. You can pick whichever spot you want, which is fantastic. Something I thought was amazing is when I was waiting for Mary Poppins, I was having the most fantastic chat to a wonderful cast member who is also giving me lots of tips and advice, and he was saying the Moana show is super special because the musicians that are with Moana are actually a family, so they're all related and they all play music together, which I think is so fantastic. And he was just so wonderful and so fun to talk to, and that's something that's so nice I think about Disney is the cast members are the magic. They are so friendly, and it's just nice to have these little moments where you get to chat to them. So that was an extra special part of the day, and yeah, I'm just absolutely loving today. Like I said, I haven't done any rides, but I've just been having the best day. I'm like, oh my god, this is what being a Disney adult is about. It's been wonderful.
¡Viva la musique! La música es mi lengua y el mundo es mi familia. La música es mi lengua y el mundo es mi familia. La música es mi lengua y el mundo es mi familia. Dame con tu rebozo llorando que me muero de frío. No llores,
will come as a surprise to literally no one. It's me crying at a show. It was so good. Guys, I am obsessed with this music festival season. It is so joyful and uplifting. I am loving it. That was fantastic. And the audience was so into it and clapping along, and I absolutely loved it. And I've just bumped into people and they were like, they noticed me casually looking at my plans. I've brought a list of all of the times. I've highlighted the preferred times I'd like to do so I could try and fit as much in. And but that's the thing, you've got to come prepared. You've got to come prepared because there's a lot to see. So I'm trying to work out. There's a possibility of seeing Minnie's marching band, but I have heard that later on in the day you will see that as part of the grand finale. So I'm thinking maybe I should go to a different show, see if I can get that in. And I don't need to grab some food because I'm not particularly hungry, but I do need to try some dishes. And I think I'm just running on adrenaline at this point, so maybe I should stop and get some food. So I have just got some of the vegan Doritos from the Overland Trail Cafe, and it's a really, really big portion. It was €10 and it comes with vegan chili, some pickled onions, sweet corn and cheese. And I thought it would be kind of like a snacky portion, but if it was a snack, you definitely need multiple people. This is like a meal, so let's tuck in and see what it's like. I've found a wall to sit on, so do excuse the peculiar angle for me to try the Doritos, but let's tuck in and see what they're like. I've got a bit that's got the chili and the cheese and everything on. It's really loaded, so let's see what it's like.
Bon appétit!
Thank you so much. Merci. I am loving that we are seeing characters from Frontierland walking around. At least I think that's what it is, unless they're very enthusiastic people or ghosts. But I love that. They just wished me a good meal. This is really good. This is very much like the chili that you get from Last Chance Cafe. And kind of anywhere you get chili in Disneyland Paris, it's this chili and it's really delicious. I also do love how the bowl is just a giant Dorito. It's a triangle and I'm loving it. So it was super cute to see Donald and Daisy, and obviously it's interesting because it's a bit different from the other music festival things because Donald and Daisy don't come from a musical, so obviously they don't have any music associated with them. But it was so cute to see them kind of like acting. He proposed, and I'm like, is this like official? Is this now official like canon that they're engaged? So that was very exciting. But always so good to see Donald. He's a hoot. I absolutely love him. Something I think I'm going to do, because I'd completely forgotten about it, but since my last trip, sorry, I have a weird shaped head and my ears keep falling off, which is a weird phrase to say anywhere else but Disney. But I have not been on the new storybook boats since they've been renovated, because my last trip they were closed for refurbishment, even though they'd just been shut for like 6 months for renovation. So we're going to head over there, and I might go on Casey Jr. as well if the queue's not too long, because I do love that, even though it is literally a child's coaster.
Until the train comes to a complete stop.
So I'm going on Casey Jr. and I was like, oh, I'll have to go at the back because that's where it goes fastest, and obviously this doesn't go fast anyway. I'm going backwards. This might be a really extreme version of Casey Jr. So let's see what it's like. It's definitely a more fun experience backwards. I would highly recommend this. The back row of Casey is so much fun. Like, I would highly recommend it because where you can't see where you're going at all, it is like a surprise, so it's definitely more thrilling, so highly recommend that. And now I'm going to go on the storybook boat, which they've added a new scene and it's kind of been renovated, so cannot wait to see what that is like. It's bad news because we've stopped moving and it started raining. And we're just stuck in the rain. So I hope we stop moving soon. So it's super cute to go on the storybook boats and see the new scenes. Also, I really appreciate it's the only place you can see Chernobyl. So I've got a bit of a dilemma now because I was gonna go back to the park. So I've got a bit of a dilemma now because I was gonna go back to the hotel at some point today, and I deliberately left my sweatshirt there, so I'd have to go back for a break. However, the music festival stuff goes on until like 6 something, and then 7:30 is the grand finale. So I was like, oh, maybe after that go back and then come back out for the fireworks. However, it's now raining and it's supposed to rain between 5 and 8 p.m. So I don't know how much of the music festival things will go ahead. I'm heading towards where Timon's show will be to see if that is going to happen. But if not, maybe I'll go back now, get out of the rain, and then come back and see if the grand finale will happen or not. And if not, then hopefully the fireworks will still happen because it is supposed to clear up in time for that. So we'll have to see. Okay, so I think I might go back to my hotel now to get out of the rain because I can see shows tomorrow, which is good. And I think this trip is always going to be too short for how many things there are to see and do. So I think we'll just do as much as we can because tomorrow I'd like to try and do the virtual queue, even though it's for Stitch. And see how that works, and then hopefully fit in some more of this. And of course I want to go to the Studios Park to see all the construction updates, but seeing as it's raining, it's not like super bad at the moment, but I'm definitely going to need a break. I can't carry on for the next nearly 6 hours. I will need a break at some point, so I'm like, maybe we'll go back now and then come back for the grand finale and see some more of these shows tomorrow, because it has been super fun. And like I say, apart from going on Casey Jr. and the Storybook Boats, I haven't been on any rides so far today, just because there's so much to see and do. But what's good is between the grand finale and the fireworks, you'll have some time to eat and to go on some rides, so that should be really good. But I might go and have a little break now, rest my feet and get refreshed. So on my way out, I thought, oh, let's go and have a little look at the Mickey fleece again, because it's very cute. However, when I tried it on, it was like a strange fit on me, and the pockets are kind of really at the sides and they kind of like point outwards, and I was not a fan. But it is very warm and it is very cute, but it's probably not for me, so I'm gonna head back to the hotel now. So I had a little break in my room, which was much needed for my feet, and then I was umming and ahhing about what to do about the grand finale, because the weather wasn't looking great when I got back, and yesterday it was kind of cancelled because of the weather. Like, they just did a shortened version. So I was like, oh, will I get to see it? Will I get to see it? And then the weather kind of changed. So at 6:50, I left my hotel. So we're going to see where I get a spot. It starts at 7:30. I'm not going to get like a prime viewing spot, because obviously we get there an hour or something early. So we'll see where we get a spot. But I'm very excited to see this, because it's kind of everyone that's involved in the music festival season all together. So let's go in and have a look at the grand finale. So it is now 7:15, and I did not think I was going to get here on time. I left at 7:10, so it's taken 25 minutes to get from my room over to the bus. I'm literally the furthest block away from the bus. Get the bus here and get into the parks, which is pretty good going, I think. So that was 25 minutes all in. And now we're going to go find a spot. So I have managed to make it, and I'm actually inside the Castle Hub. Now, I've never seen this before, so I don't know where is going to be a good place to stand or what the show kind of entails, but there is a stage right in the middle, and I do know someone very special is going to make an appearance there, but we'll see what we see. This probably isn't going to be a good vlog viewing, but I think with my eyes I will have quite a good kind of view, but obviously for the vlog you'll have like lighting poles and stuff in the way, so we'll see what we capture, but hopefully you can get a glimpse of what it might be like.
Let's go!
place de l'orchestre. Quelle journée incroyable! Depuis ce matin, nos cœurs battent au rythme de la musique. Une musique qui nous a fait vibrer, sourire, danser. Ensemble, nous avons créé une symphonie magique, unique et qui nous ressemble. Alors, continuons!
Grand finale was fantastic, and what's crazy is there is so much going on. I actually think to get the full experience you would need to see it multiple times and stood in multiple places. I was inside the hub, so you've got characters coming on the stage in front of you, which was amazing. However, not all the characters go to all of the stages, so if you stood in different places you see different characters, and then on the road around the castle hub you also had like a parade going on. There was just so much happening and it was amazing. It was so good, and it's a combination of all of the different people that you can see during the day and their musicians, so that was so worthwhile. So if you won't have a chance to see everyone individually, definitely make sure you see this, and I'm so glad the weather worked out and I got here in time because that was so wonderful. So I'm not super hungry, but I have just come to Last Chance Cafe and got some fries and a fused tea and some salt to put on the chips, because I always think Disney chips could do with a little bit of salt. But yeah, it's nice just to be able to get a little snack, and this is a really good place just to kind of grab something lighter to eat. The vegan chili is back, but I've had chili already twice today and I thought I can't do 3 chili day. That would be insane. So we're not trying that just yet. So got a little bit of salt, I'm gonna shake them up and chow down, because it's nice just to have a little bit. It's weird, isn't it? Because I eat quite early at home, but it's like 8 o'clock here, so 7 o'clock in the UK, and I'm like, who am I? They say travel changes you. I'm eating really late all of a sudden. They definitely do need some salt. They do also offer you any sauces you would like. I bet it's nice here because they have the chunky chips, not traditional fries, so that's quite nice. So it was really nice to have a little sit down and some chips. I'm not feeling 100% great, so I'm going to go on Phantom Manor. I love the way that I'm using that as a medical thing. I'm like, that'll make me feel better. And then I will see how I feel, because it's one of those things. It's about 9 o'clock now. There's an hour and 40 minutes to the fireworks, and I'm like, am I going to make it? Am I not? And it's that funny thing of, in January I was furious because I was like, I can't believe the fireworks started the day we left, and now I'm like, I might not get to see them. Luckily I am coming back later in the year, and I think that's something that's very fortunate, is, you know, not everyone is able to come multiple times, so I'm very lucky to be able to do that, and I know I will be coming back later this year. So it's one of those things that if I'm still not feeling great, I know I do have the option to head back to the hotel and kind of rest. I think I'm going to have to start telling people I'm an 80-year-old Disney vlogger, and then they go, oh, the reason why she's hobbling about and her knees are aching and her foot's a problem and she feels ill is because she's ancient. But it's just the reality of I've just fallen to pieces, I think. However, Phantom Manor will always make everything better. Every single time I see Phantom Manor, I'm like, literally, that's like my dream house. I would love to live in a house that looked like this from the outside. I think it's so iconic. Obsessed. How do we make this happen? There's got to be a house for sale like this somewhere.
fantômes sur vos fiers destriers, escortés dans la nuit la belle Beyoncé.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
That was a super fun ride on Phantom Manor. It was really funny because when I was walking in, I was thinking, oh, this is weird because there was no cast member, and I was the last person in. There was only a few of us in there, and he was hiding behind the door, and I proper screamed, and it was very embarrassing. But what was also good is I got to have my favourite experience in Phantom Manor, which is where there's no one in front of you. So they have like rows and rows and rows of doom buggies with no one in, and then behind me for about 5 or 6 doom buggies there was no one. So it's definitely more scarier because you feel very alone. You don't see anyone else, which is really, really, really good. And I don't know if I've just been ignorant all this time, but it felt like there was more sound effects. So when you're going, after you've had the piano player, which is one of my favourite bits, because if you actually look on the floor, you can see the spirit. It's like the shadow of the spirit, but I think it's so easy to skip it. And then you have all the doors that rattle. And there was like a blood-curdling scream. I thought it was someone on the ride somewhere, and I thought, oh my God, what is happening? It really frightened me. I'd never heard that before. And then one of the doors, someone was going, let me out, which again, I've never heard before. And I'm like, have I just been ignoring it? But I was thinking today, which person in Phantom Manor am I? And there's when you're going down the bit where you're going backwards, there's a skeleton who's just like, nah, and I'm like, that's me. I do think I'm going to go and see if I can maybe get on a few other rides and just see how I feel. And I think it's one of those things, I'm such a big supporter of doing what your body feels is right, because Disney is a very intense holiday. You are walking a lot more than usual, and when you're not walking, you're standing, so your feet are always on the go. You kind of probably don't drink enough, especially when it's very, very hot like today. There's all these little things that combined with like tiredness and all of that. Sometimes you just feel a bit like, oh, so if you need to have a little break at your hotel room or a sit down and just kind of get yourself together, I think it's absolutely fine. And I think the thing is, because you've been so excited for a trip, and obviously they aren't cheap trips, you kind of want to push yourself, but I think sometimes it could be the worst thing because you end up feeling worse, or you know, you're in absolute agony, or you're just not feeling the magic anymore. So I definitely do think just kind of be kind to yourself, do what you can. And I think the thing is, as long as you're having a good time, that's all that matters. And like, kind of, I'm someone who kind of has a checklist in my head of going, right, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. But so ultimately, I've had an amazing day today. It has been wonderful. When I think about it, we've done a lot. So if I get to see the fireworks, absolute bonus, it'll be amazing. And then if I don't, I've still had an amazing day. So I think that's the way to look at it. And I'm very much a checklist person, but I am trying to get better at it, because ultimately all that matters is the experience. And this has been one of my favourite days I think I've ever had in Disneyland Paris. Like, the music festival has been wonderful. And it's weird because I haven't really done any rides. But like I say, it's one of those things in Disney, you can go a whole day and not go on any rides and have the best time. I've also had really fantastic cast member interactions today, all day long, and it has been so special because of it. So this has been an absolutely awesome day, but let's see what we can get on. Let's see if we can do some rides. I think it feels deceptively early because it's 9:30 at night, but it's still light. So it feels much earlier in the day, which is really interesting. And that's one of the great things, though, now that we're getting into summer months, where you have more hours of light. Obviously, it does mean the fireworks are much later, which I think is difficult, because if you have kids, it is quite late at night. 10:40 is late for little ones. But it is so nice because, you know, if you do have a little break, you've still got hours and hours and hours in the park and hours of light. And I'm just blown away. I'm like, this is amazing. So I'm surprised, actually. I'm heading towards Fantasyland and they're still open, and I'm imagining Fantasyland normally shuts about an hour before the fireworks because they have to hose down the buildings to protect them from the sparks. And yeah, I'm assuming we might be able to get on something just before they close Fantasyland, so let's see. So whilst I was on Pinocchio, they've actually shut the queues for the rides now. So whoever's in the queue will get to go on the rides, but Fantasyland is shutting down, ready for the fireworks. So I'm gonna head back probably through Adventureland way to get to a firework viewing spot. Because I think, I don't know why, last time I came we got a good view from the left-hand side of the castle. And I feel like that was lucky, so let's try again. This time of night, the parks are just so pretty when everything is starting to get lit up. It's amazing. So even though Fantasyland does shut for the fireworks about an hour before the fireworks start, you can still go to Adventureland, Frontierland, and Discovery Land. I was going to say Discovery World then, I don't know why. So you can still go there, those rides will still be available to go on, so don't fret, there's still things to do. Like at the moment it's about 55 minutes until the fireworks, and I don't fancy staying on the spot for that long, so I'm next to Pirates, so what do you think's going to happen? We're going in. You know how people are like, if someone leaves out like a box of chocolates and when people walk past them they're like, oh, I'll just have one. I'm like that in Disneyland Paris, where I think, right, I'm going to go to this place, and then I'll walk past, it's like a 5-minute queue, I'll go, oh, just pop on that, just pop on that. So it takes you ages to get anywhere, but it's fantastic because you're having a great journey along the way. What's really interesting is the queue for Pirates, I normally cannot see at all, and like I have to have people in front of me and like hold a wall to like guide myself. But I don't know if at night they make it brighter, but I can actually see where I'm going, which is good. I haven't eaten many carrots in the past 24 hours, it can't be that. Suddenly I can see where I'm going. Guys, I've had to put layers on because it's getting cold outside, but it's like a sauna in here. I'm gonna expire before the end of the run.
The Lord and Bezel, even Jack regard me on his yo-ho. Jack.
So I've come to the left side of the castle, and it's kind of in the area which is behind where the people who pay are. So sometimes you can get quite a good view. I didn't get here super early. I still think I've got quite a nice view. Hopefully no kids on shoulders. But I'm very excited to see this because obviously I have not seen this. This is a brand new show that debuted in January and I just missed it. So I cannot wait to see it. I haven't watched anything, so it's going to be a complete surprise. I think we should all cast our bets now of if I'm going to cry. Because we know I love crying. And I always actually say that's how I know a show is a good show, if it makes me cry. So let's see. And if you've seen it and you know I'm going to cry, let me know how far into it do you think I'm going to start crying.
I've landed on a strange planet with a formidable force.
Find your magic, embrace it, and pass it on.
So I'm so happy I stayed and I got to watch Tales of Magic for the very first time. Loved the use of lasers, I thought that was really, really cool. Loved all the fire effects. Some of the drones were absolutely stunning. I think that's something Disneyland Paris do so well, is incorporating the drones into their nighttime shows. It was fantastic. I liked the soundtrack. They had a section, and like, spoiler alert, dead. They were like, oh, the people that died in Disneyland, Bambi's mum, she's making an appearance. And then they had He Lives in You afterwards. And I was like, what are they trying to do? Although, I would like to point out, dry face. No crying didn't make me cry. I do think it wasn't my favourite ever fireworks show. I will say that. Like, I think, like I say, the music was great. The use of drones is great. Some of the drones were a bit unusual because they were more like patterns rather than characters. But the character ones are unbelievable. And there were fireworks, but there weren't as many fireworks as I was expecting. And I think it's because my all-time favourite Disney fireworks show is Happily Ever After. And everything about that is perfection to me. So I think it's very, very hard to top that. But I do think the addition of the new technology is amazing. So I would definitely watch it during my trip. I probably wouldn't watch it more than once a trip, but it's definitely worthwhile going to see. So I'm glad I've got to see it. And now it's time to go back, get some sleep. Tomorrow is the final day and I'm going to be going into the Studios Park to see what the construction updates are. I'm going to see more of the music festival season. I'm going to try and get this virtual queue for Stitch. So there's still so much more to come, but thank you so much for joining me on this day. I feel like it was jam-packed. We got to do so much today and it's been such an awesome day. So thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, I hope you have a most magical day. Bye-bye.